gas and fed, and it's time for another edition of Try Hard Racing with me, Roll Cage TV, where I do the best scan what I've got, which is not a lot of talent, but a whole lot of quantum leaping. Why does that sound like a Christmas poem? A whole lot of quantum leaping. Cats are dancing. Dogs are singing. Yes, you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, are going to be like, what? Well, everybody's going to be like, what? What are you talking about? Because nobody knows what I'm talking about when I start talking. Nobody knows what I'm talking about when I finish talking. Actually, if you're watching on Twitch, you'd be like, wow, he's back. I have not streamed this game for a month, almost exactly a month. But I had enough content saved up that if you're watching on YouTube, it seems like nothing. It's like, oh, well, yeah, okay. TTL, man, I just saw the last episode. Like, I don't know, this one's coming out on a Sunday, just saw the last episode. Or no, this is coming on a Saturday, so we just saw the last episode Sunday. Yeah. But it's been a long time in real life. Last time I streamed this was before my big marathon stream, which was on November 11th. And then I was scheduled to stream this again the following week. And we had a little issue in the household. We had a tiny little microscopic spiky ball invader come into the household. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess I can say the word COVID now out loud without getting like the video taken down. So yes, we had a little spiky ball visitor. I have two roommates. One of my roommates tested positive. She started having symptoms. And like 3 days after my marathon stream. And so we have one other roommate, so there's three of us here, and neither of the other of us got it. Amazingly enough, put a very strict protocol into place right away. And this is a small apartment. It's really hard to isolate anyone here. But yeah, we were lucky. She had very light symptoms. Well, for comparison, I mean, she had symptoms, but they were fairly mild. She had them for a couple days, and all cleared up now. Has been all cleared up for I guess almost a week. So had her second negative test Tuesday or something like that. So and this is a Saturday that I'm streaming this. So yes, we're all good to go. But a lot has happened in real world in that amount of time, which I'll talk about once we start getting in the game. But this whole conversation was based on the fact that I'm making an excuse for what is going to obviously be terrible play, because I haven't played the game in nearly a month. I actually did play it a little bit after. I played it a little bit before the marathon stream. So I last played it. Yeah, I played it like a couple days before the marathon stream, because I knew I wasn't going to be streaming this game, TT Alaman 3. Had to look up to try to remind myself what game it was that I'm playing. So let's see. What are we doing? What do we need to do? We need to get back familiar with stuff. This is season 2, right? Yes. Let me got to get warmed up for one of these events. So let me see if I can collect my keep streaming back. Yeah, okay. That's how the controls work. Yes, leaderboard. Did I do this one? I probably didn't. No, because I was out for many weeks. So, hold to collect rewards. I have no rewards. No reward. Okay. Thanks for telling me that. nothing here. Yeah, I probably did not even collect the rewards for anything. Yeah, okay, so there's one here and one here. These are the weekly type events. I think they're staggered, so I think you get like one new one every week, something like that. But I'm gonna free race over, or free ride over to this spot. That'd be nice if you could set a marker, like in what's that game I used to play so much of? Forza Horizon. You could put a marker, and then you get a little line on the screen that tells you. So I'm going right here. Oh yeah, I still got it. I still got it. If I still got it, I mean I remember which button is the accelerator and which button is the decelerator. The brake, as it's sometimes called in English. So yes, a lot of things happen in IRL for me. First of all, though, I said it was a quantum leap. And the reason for that is like a big time jump, right? Wasn't a TV show. I never watched a TV show. Wasn't a TV show based on, you know, big time leaps, leap in time, forward, backward. I guess maybe directions too. But a quantum jump, a quantum leap, wouldn't be a big leap. A quantum thing is, by definition, the smallest possible change. That's where, I mean, quantum mechanics was the study of discrete energy levels, discrete times, something like that. Well, I mean, basically discrete energy levels. We don't know if time is discrete of time is yet or not, or space. But yeah, a quanta is the smallest possible change. That's what a quanta is. And so a quantum leap should be a leap ahead in time, or back in time, by like 1 Planck time, which is, in case you didn't know, I studied physics a lot in school. And a Planck time is like oh boy, I'm not going to remember the number now. It's like 1 times 10 to the minus 23rd, 43rd seconds. I don't know, something like it. It's in there somewhere. I'm thinking Avogadro's number 23, which is 6 times 10 to the minus 23, right? There about? Anyway, turn left here again. And I don't know if my if the clicking is going to be around. I got some different setup. So hopefully it'll be minimized, but like I haven't played this game in a month, so since this is the only game that suffers from it, it's very likely that there's going to be a problem here too. Okay, where is this thing? I think I see it on the mini-map. Yeah, here it is on the mini-map coming up. So yeah, so a quantum leap in time would mean a leap of the smallest possible length, imperceptibly small amount of time. So that whole show, the name, physicists around the world always complained about that name. You guys probably have no idea what even show I'm talking about. I don't know. Racing demographic runs kind of older, but it's like, to me, it's a show that's way past my time, way newer than my time. But, you know, I'm sure a lot of people watching videos on YouTubes. I hear that I click, but I don't know if that's going to be. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me do this with the microphone. I did clean the contacts on the context. Oh, I'm so tired. I did clean the contacts on this thing. On my headset and all that stuff, but yeah, if you watched any of my previous episodes of this, you know that I complain a lot about the audio because I keep getting the clicking, and it doesn't happen in any other game. But in this game, it's like it's a bad microphone. There was another update that came out recently too, I think within the last month. Okay, what's, it is cloudy. Intermediate physics, okay, 1 lap around what course? Lackey course, full course. And this doesn't tell me the distance. Oh, whatever. I want to know how much fuel to put in the thing. And this is 2. All my options are level 2, right? Yes, level 2. Okay, because this is season 2. And I'm sure half a tank will be enough. Not that this little bit of weight difference is going to matter to me, because they stink anyway. Here's the clutch. Speaking of clutches, one of the things that's changed IRL for me is I finally got a new car. The car I was driving was 1999 Saturn SC2, and this is almost 2024, and I was driving 1999, which means it was a 25-year-old car, and it showed it. It only had 120,000 miles on it, so it like had a really small number of miles for the age. But part of that is because I didn't dare drive it any more than absolutely necessary. I don't commute with it. I'm retired, so. Yeah, it was costing me more money to fix, clearly, than it was worth it, but I didn't have the money to buy a new one. I finally was able to scrape together money to buy a new one, and I was keeping my fingers crossed. The biggest problem with it, other than everything not working on it, it's electrical issues. The power windows and power door locks all had to be disconnected because they weren't working right and draining my battery, and you know, all kinds of bad things. But the main thing, the issue that finally killed the car is there's a hole in the floorboard behind the driver's seat because it was all rusted out underneath. And I got a new exhaust for the thing a few years back, maybe 3 years back, and had new brake lines put in a year ago or less than a year ago because they all went. Everything that was underneath the car basically had been broken out. The latch for the gas didn't work anymore. The latch for the gas cap, the latch for the fuel access, the latch for the trunk didn't work anymore because that cable was broken. I mean, it was just a total mess because it was so rusted out underneath. And so the final thing was, I knew that it was an impending death trap, and I was trying. I did not want to. I knew I wasn't really going to make it through another winter here in Minnesota, but because of some other expenses and things. Oh no! I was. I'm actually. I should be probably paying attention more, huh? Because of, you know, I was contemplating, well, do I try to hang on to it for another winter, whatever, but it was like it's December now, and we've had a dusting of snow, but not any major snows yet. Like, I really have to get this thing changed, and what really convinced me I had to do it right now was, I went to, my roommate had what's the phrase? Rona. Had the Rona. Leave a comment if you know where that nickname came from, or who used it a few years back. Anyway, and so I went out to pick up her prescription for some medicine, Paxlovid, great stuff, important stuff. Take it within 24 hours, 48 hours of first showing symptoms, or testing positive. Anyway, so I went out to the drugstore, and like halfway there, the pharmacy, what is it, the chemist. I know I get people from all over, from other countries in the U.S. who watch these things. I keep trying to think, what are the phrases, the British phrases versus the English, the American phrases, British English versus American English phrases. Anyway, I am so tired. That on my way to the pharmacy, I felt the chair kind of not giving, but it's hard to describe. Like I leaned back in the chair. It felt like it wasn't quite engaged right, but I knew it was engaged right. So maybe it was not bracing as well as it should be against the floorboard, because maybe the floorboard was not there or weakening or softening. It's like, okay, there is no way, obviously now, I'm going to make it through the winter. I didn't want to try to make it through the winter, but yeah, I think this is starting to turn into an actual immediate critical hazard. So I wasn't terribly sure, and so I started thinking, okay, where am I going to go? Other resources. Word of mouth. I'm not going to get a new car. I don't have any kind of money for a new car. But used car. Who has a used car? I don't need anything too good or fancy or too new or anything like that. Just something that's not going to kill me when the seat falls through the floor, falls out of the bottom. And so finally, in my desperation, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to go to Carvana, because I've looked at all kinds of other places and dealers that supposedly had really good used cars, but they didn't have anything. It's late in the season, had reasonable used cars. And I don't know a lot of people for word of mouth stuff. The place where I got where I had my car serviced, they were really anxious for me to get a different car, because first of all, they're good people and they don't want to see me die on the road. But you might think, well, we can keep, this guy is going to keep spending more money than is worth on his car. We're making money off of him. He has to keep bringing the thing in every couple of months to get something else replaced on it. But no, they're actually an auto shop that's a really good, upright, honest, just a single proprietor mechanic place. Anyway, those are hard to find anymore, independent mechanics. Anyway, other than like some guy with oil stains in his garage or in his driveway that will fix something. Your cousin will know somebody will fix your car up right. Anyway, where was I going with all this? Oh, yes, I didn't have a good place to try to find a new car, good resources. And so I finally gave up and decided, well, okay, I got to do something. Let me go to Carvana. And the Carvana experience, maybe I'll talk about it later, is not necessarily pleasant. They have this like, oh, I knew I wasn't going to make it. This is not the beginner in physics level. That's my excuse for this one. So the beginner in physics, I stink. The Carvana experience, you go and they have to have a list of cars. You look and search for something you want, and then then they say, okay, here's one. Are you interested? Put in you know, apply to buy this. But what I didn't know is when you hit the apply button, and I was one there that it was a decent price for a decent car. So I said, okay, this I can live with this. Let me go ahead and start the process. Well, when you start the process, they only give you like an hour. They reserve it, maybe not even an hour, like 45 minutes or something. They said, okay, you were the first person to put in an application for this car. Or, you know, this car is now available, now locked for you for the next however many minutes, hour, or whatever. But then you need to do everything. Now I hadn't actually showed interest in the car before. It's not like put a bid on because it's a flat price, but and so there was so much information that they needed, pages and pages of documents, and I had to make sure. Fortunately, I had the title of my existing car handy because for trade-in, and I mean my trade-in was near zero, but I still had to fill all this information out, and I didn't know. You know, I could have just skipped the trade, except I needed them to haul the old one away. Carvana, they bring the car to you, which is why it's a very convenient place. Of course, you pay for that convenience. But I had filled all this information out with insurance and this, that, and the other. And as I was on like the second to last screen of information to fill out, a message popped up that said, "Oops, sorry, you're out of time and the car is no longer available." It's like, wait a minute. The car is now no longer available that instantly? I mean, my time runs out. I mean, that's what happens when your time runs out. It's like they don't give you a second chance. Somebody else has immediately, within seconds, put a hold on that car. I mean, it's something's a little sus there. In my mind, it was a quantum leap of time. Suddenly, the car was reserved for me. It went from being reserved to me to within seconds, running out of time and having it already sold. But conveniently enough, there was another car. You might be interested in this other car instead of that car. Too bad, you know. Sorry you didn't make it this car. But here's another car that's almost identical, except it's $2,000 more. Like, okay, is this really real? But I'm desperate. So I filled out the process, did everything, you know, committing myself to payments that I could afford, but inconvenient, locked into 5 years, financing, whatever. So then I went onto my email, because I had to check for, you know, they would email me with all kinds of things like confirmations and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I've got 100 emails from Carvana now still sitting in my inbox. And from the insurance company and all this stuff. But I was looking through my emails, and guess what was sitting in my email? Well, of course, you're not going to be able to guess. Lo and behold, what was sitting in my email folder from just it wasn't that day. It was actually the night before, but I hadn't checked my email since. It was an email from the auto shop, the service station, saying, "Hey, we've got this car you might be interested in." And it was already, the place was closed by this time. By the time I finished out with Carvana, they wanted me to go out and get take a picture of my odometer and make sure it's in good light. Well, it was like it's wintertime here, and so it's dark by like 5, pitch black, like 5:30, and p.m. 17:30 for those of you and watching from another continent. Anyway, so I'm trying to take a picture, and I'm having a hard time getting the picture, and I mean, it was just a disaster. Anyway, Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so I got the email saying, well, we have this thing. It was already too late by this point. It was after 8 or whatever to contact it. But I sent an email right back and said, yes, I'm interested, but I just reserved a car from Carvana, and they're going to be delivering it to me in like 3 days. But the car you have sounds interesting, and I think I can still get out of the Carvana deal. So, and I asked the guy, do you know anything about Carvana or whatever? And then the next morning, I got a reply back, but by then I had already actually called him in the morning and said, yes, I'm interested in this car. He said, well, do you want to come look at it? And I said, yo, yeah, I'll come check it out. So I actually walked down there because it's like a mile away from my house, and I wasn't going to risk driving my car one more time. And everything checked out good. So I went back and started the cancellation process on Carvana. And it turns out that since it was within 24 hours of when I actually bought the car or scheduled the car for delivery or whatever they call it, you actually have 7 days to return the car after they deliver it, but there's a lot of things that they won't reimburse you for, like the delivery fee and things like that. It's hundreds of dollars. But yeah, since within 24 hours, I didn't have to pay anything. They'll fully reimburse me of everything. And but of course, it's going to be 10 business days until they can do the reimbursement, even though they charge it immediately out of your account, because that's a whole nother scam. Banks make their money. There's actually small businesses that actually will do financial refunds for companies. They're like, I don't know what they're called, refund manager companies, whatever. And the reason the companies will pay, and actually you think, well, why does the company have to pay? They don't have to pay anyone to, it costs them next to nothing to charge somebody's card. It's just an electronic, debit transfer. But to give money back, they're paying a third party to do it, because the third party doesn't give it back right away. And so they have 10 business days to hold on to your money. And the interest in 10 business days isn't a lot, but it's enough, and it adds up, that it's worth, that these people that are brokers for refund brokers, they actually make money just by taking a cut of the amount of money that the interest on the tiny bit of interest. Anyway, where was that? Another aside? This is like my 4th aside, isn't it? So long story short-ish, yeah, well, let's just rack it up. I got the car from the dealership. I was able to cancel the other car. And the car I got is still old, but not as old. I had a 99. This is a 2007. And you might think, oh, well, that's not much of an improvement. Actually, this car is in near perfect condition. My car had a... my car was plastic on the outside, Saturn, and so even though it had been scratched and whatever, you couldn't see any body damage. Oh, look at this, I'm in 8th place. We'll just stop there and not try to scroll any farther. Oh, it doesn't scroll anyway. Yeah, okay. This one must have just started. Let's actually do an actual event here, because I've been going on for half an hour. Where's the actual... Oh, I did the qualifier last episode. Okay. It's like, I'm looking for the qualifier. No, it's an actual event. Okay. Event number 3. Race event number 3 for the season. Clear. Info. It's fairly short. 3 laps. Okay, we can get this done in half an hour, I think. So I got the car. It's a 2007 Audi A4 Quattro. So it's all-wheel drive, which in wintertime, I never had an all-wheel drive car, but here in the wintertime in Minnesota, that's actually, make sure I put back the full tank. This button. It's got like, it's loaded out. It's much more car, as I told the guy, much more car than I deserve. It's a 4-door sedan rather than like this 3-door coupe that I had, sport coupe. And so I picked it up. I actually picked it up yesterday and tried to drive it home. Took my, this is this, well, let's see, is this free practice? No. Oh, that's right. It's the actual race. Oh. I got confused again. Thought it was qualifying. And of course, they qualified last time. So I picked the car up yesterday. It's in near perfect condition. It's got brand new tires on it. The person that had it only serviced it initially at the dealership, and then they started servicing at this service place, like I said, which I love this place because they don't try to rip you off. They've told me over and over again on my other car, you really shouldn't fix this thing because it's not worth fixing. Which, how often do you hear that from a you know, an auto shop? So yes, they are great. They, you know, you pay a little bit more than your cousin Frank would charge you, but you know, they're worth it. Trying to focus. So yes, I picked it up. It's in, like, the body is almost immaculate. There's just like a couple places where there's slight scuffs in the paint, and that's it. No visible rust, except I think there's a tiny bit, the rivets, you know, there's a strip on the side it's a door ding guard or whatever, and that's like riveted in or something, and so screwed maybe, so there's like just a little spot there on, I think, a couple of those rivets. But like, by a couple of spots, I mean, you can't even, they're a plank length in size. Throwback physics joke. Anyway, but like, that's it. It's virtually no rust anywhere on a car that's that old in Minnesota. It's amazing. So very well taken care of. The thing is, I think this is where I started the whole thing about not being able to find the clutch. Now I've finally gone back to the clutch. That started this whole story. My car that I've been driven forever was a manual transmission, 5-speed. And, you know, I've driven that for decades. I haven't driven an automatic in decades, and this new car is an automatic. And I had a hard time adjusting. Like, I can't. Some people, you know, if you drive an automatic, some people have never driven a manual. If you drive an automatic, you might have a hard time picking up how to drive a manual transmission. But I was the other way around. I mean, obviously, I have driven automatic transmission cars, but it had been a long time since I drove one that wasn't just like a rental or something. And so yeah, but I got it home, and I didn't know how to adjust anything, and so I'm sitting there. Oh, I was saying my roommates, they met me there they walked there when I picked the car up. I did drive my old car there just to drop it off with them, which no, they didn't give me any trade-in for. Basically, they're willing to not charge me to haul the thing away, and they'll give it to some scrap dealer to cover the tax or whatever that they end up having to pay for the transfer, for the donation. Which is a shame, because that car had a really good engine. I mean, nice. It was a good engine, and it's I don't know. Maybe they'll pull the engine out. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I hate that. I hate that that's doing that. Ugh, only in this game is there a problem. And I've switched microphones, headsets. I've switched controllers. I've cleaned everything. Switched chat pads, which the headset is plugged into. Oh well. Now I forgot. I lost my train of thought again. Oh yes, I took the roommates out for a drive-through fast food burger in celebration of my new car, because the windows on my old car, it's been like 5 years since the windows would roll down. They had to be disconnected. Well, I think the motor actually burned out, and it's like hundreds of dollars to fix that. And that was one of the things the shop said, you know, it's really not worth fixing this, because it's going to cost us hundreds of dollars. You have to label, you have to take the door apart and do all kinds of other stuff to it to get this, to replace this thing. So yeah, just and there's no like hand crank. I wish cars had, you know, you have, even if you have power locks, you still have a manual override. I wish they had a hand crank manual override for the windows, but they don't. It seems to me to be dangerous, because if you like drive into a lake or a pond or something, isn't your electrical going to go out and you won't be able to get the windows rolled down? Anyway, so yes, I could finally roll down my driver's side window and go to a drive-thru. So we went to a drive-thru, and we were all still wearing our masks in the car because of our recent, even though everyone's tested negative, and multiple negative tests, still, you know, there's like 60 days or like 2 months. My roommate was scheduled. I had just gotten the yearly vaccine, and she was scheduled to get a vaccine like the following week, and so she had to cancel that, obviously, and they wouldn't give her the vaccine for like 60 days after she started having symptoms, because she could, you know, she would have some still in her, and there's a possibility of a relapse and all this other stuff. So we're not completely letting our guard down, although we're not walking around with face masks 24/7 anymore. So yeah, we had our face masks on in the car while ordering the food. But it was nice. Ordered drive-through for the first time in a long time. That's how I celebrate. Celebrate by getting, some people get new cars and they celebrate by, you know, I don't know, a road trip or something. No, I celebrate by rolling my window down. That's how I celebrate my new car. Oh look, the windows roll down. Wow, look at that. You press the button, you press another button, press it the other way. Oh, it's great. It's the best thing in the world. Anyway, so Audi A4, 4-door sedan, heavy by comparison to the Saturn SC2 Sport Coupe. And the engine is so smooth. It had more miles on it than mine, even though it's like 8 years newer. But and I'm not used to, because you can't hear the revs. I mean, you can hear them kind of, sort of, but It's not like a manual transmission car where you can see the revs and hear the revs, and you know, you become one with the car, so you have a better idea of how fast you're going at all times, I think. The automatic, something I didn't realize or had forgotten is it's real easy to lose track of your speed when you're driving an automatic. Or at least it was for me. And I'm driving, I just got the thing, I don't even have it registered my name yet, and I'm driving along at like 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone or something. I look down and I panic because it's so smooth. I had no idea how fast I was going. And also, I'm not used to the speedometer is on the different side of the panel. It's on the right side of the panel, and the tach is on the left. Where my old car, the speedometer is on the left, and the tach was on the right. Snuck a peek down to see if there's anyone chatting, laughing at me. So yeah, the tach or the speedometer, it's not, probably because it goes up to a much higher, no, it goes up to ridiculous, the speedometer goes always in cars, they go up to ridiculous speeds. It's like, yes, our speedometer goes up to 240 miles an hour. This car ain't gonna do 240 miles an hour, but the speedometer makes you think that, oh, what? You could possibly get to 240 miles an hour in this car. My other one, the speedometer went up to 120, and I will admit, because I think statute of limitations has expired, I did get that car up over 100, so I knew it could go over 100, but probably not get to 120. And there was more. I had more to give it, so I could have gotten it even higher, but probably not 120. But this new car, I don't notice how far it goes up. Probably like to 180 or something. So it's more. It's like zoomed out. It's harder to see. The numbers are closer together, so it's hard to see your exact speed. And it's analog display. It's not a digital display of your speed. It'd be nice if it was a digital display. I don't know, there is a digital display. Maybe I can reprogram it. But the markers on the speedometer, instead of every 10, the numbers are every 20. I mean, the markers like every 5, but there's 4 markers between 2 numbers rather than just 1 marker, I guess. If it's 10 apart, there's like a marker every 5 miles an hour, but it's the markers for every 5 miles an hour are close together, and only every 4th one of them has a number on it. So to see whether you're driving 50, in other words, you have to look very carefully to make sure you're halfway between the 40 and the 60. Or to make sure you're driving at 30, which is what I should have been driving. You gotta squint your eyes, and I don't have great eyes, to see if you're halfway between the 20 and the 40. So hopefully I will not end up getting a ticket in this car, just until I get used to figuring out how fast I'm going. And hopefully I won't get stopped before my registration goes through either. But I do love the car. I think it was definitely better than the car I had ordered from Carvana. Was a small little Fiat, which would have been okay, because I mean I'm alone. I just have a couple of roommates, but they don't occupy my car all that often. So the little Fiat would have been okay, but it was so cramped. What is it, 500? So this thing is now like a luxury car. I've never driven. This is the largest car I've ever driven, I think, or I've ever owned. I had a 4-door sedan. Well, it was a sports sedan Saturn before this one. Oh, I actually did have a 4-door sedan, non-sporty Saturn. I would, if I could have gotten another Saturn, I would have gotten another Saturn. I love the Saturns, but they haven't made them in a long time. Oh, I had my tongue out. I was trying to concentrate on my driving. What was I talking about again? The Saturns. Oh, the size of the car. So it's bigger, but that's going to be better in the snow. It's got all-wheel drive, so that's going to be better in the snow. It's got like leather seats and seat warmers, and I mean, it's pretty much decked out. I mean, I think the A4s were pretty decked out in that late aughts. Were pretty decked out as it was, but you know, this one had all kinds of optional packaging and stuff too. And so it's got power everything, power seat adjustments, and power this, that, and like I said, seat warmers and automatic temperature, environmental controls, and you know what? I need to. It's my chat, my bot is not. It should be telling me. It should be coming up and telling the good people to not swear, and it's not doing that. And sometimes it gets locked up, gets confused. So yes, it's more car than I deserve, but I did not have to finance it. It wasn't cheap. No used cars are cheap, but it was. I did have enough. I had a bunch of credit card debt, and now I still have the credit card debt. But I had the money in the bank. I could have paid off the credit card debt. Which what I was going to do if I had to finance the car, or I could keep the money. I could spend that money that I otherwise would use to pay off the credit card debt to actually buy a new car if it was cheap enough. So that's what I did. The amount of money I spent is almost exactly what my credit card debt was. So I still have the credit card debt, but you know, my bank account is lower by that amount of cash on hand. But my bank account's okay. I'm not, you know, loaded or anything, but it's okay. And I think I've mentioned many times before that I have a lot of insurance bills yet that I can, for my kitty cat who passed away last year. I've got like a couple thousand or something in claims, pet insurance claims that I haven't put in yet. Which there's no limit. It's a great pet insurance company, Companion. There's no time limit. I can get the forms in anytime. So I actually have some going back for years when she first started. We first found out about her kidney issues. So I have a few $1,000s, I think, in those claim forms. If I just hurry up and if I get on the ball and get those in, you know, I'll have. I'm not going to be in any kind of financial straits. So the other car, my payments would have been a little bit less than I'm currently paying on my credit card, but I'd be locked in for 5 years, and the credit card payments I'm making are more than I have to. They're well over the minimum because I want to get that paid off. And if I had to, if you know, I had to, I could pay less than that amount if my burn rate was a little bit too high to sustain, which I couldn't do with a car. I have to pay those car payments. So the credit card payments, I have to make a payment, but I don't have to make as much of a payment. So it's better for me financially. Plus, I mean, just the bottom line is the car cost half as much as the other car I was going to buy, but I had to pay cash for it. So my cash on hand was a little bit less than I would like, which It's why I'm not going to be getting a new, the new Xbox as soon as I was hoping to get it by the end of this year, because on Sundays I stream Dirt Rally 2.0, and the new version of that, which is EA Rally, EA WRC, I guess, because EA bought out Codemasters who make that game. And all of my friends, all of my associates, all of my contacts, they're all playing the new game, and I can't play the new game until I get a new console, because it's not doesn't work on the Xbox One. But I was planning on getting a new console by the end of this year. I'm gonna put that off now, just to make sure my cash flow is still solid, my cash on hand. My cat, it's not warm here today. It's, I think, around freezing, but we live on the top floor of a 3-story apartment. We're right under the roof, and it gets really warm in here, even in the wintertime. The heat we have completely turned down, but everyone around us has their heat turned on, and all the heat from the building just rises to the top floor, and we're right under the black tar roof. And my cat has now decided that he's going to take his nap in the space right in front of the balcony doors, which of course means that he's pushed the blinds, the vertical blinds, out of the way, so the sun, which is a sunny day today, is beating down, making it even warmer in here. So I'm gonna have to turn the air conditioner on, because we get like wasps and stuff in here, and I know it's past wasp season, but everything, the screen door leaks, and I mean even just the whole apartment leaks, but it doesn't leak enough to keep it cool. So I'm gonna actually have to turn the air on, or maybe risk opening the window here, because I'm warm. I'm overheated. So yes, lots of stuff happening in my real life, and I think I've kind of gotten my groove back in playing the game. Oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. I backed off a little bit there, but I'm gonna regret going this fast through these sweepy turns. But I've watched so many tips videos on how to do it. Tips on how to play this game. It's gotta be the most difficult racing game, the most difficult racing game out there, probably. I mean, most difficult motorcycle game. Motorcycle games are more difficult than auto racing games. One tip I think that everybody universally says is, why are you driving in first-person perspective? You stink. You should be driving in an easier perspective. And my answer is, I can't drive in any other perspective. It's not that I want the realism. I can't, from a chase cam perspective, just completely throws me off. I mean, in an auto racing game, it really throws me off, because the car isn't always pointed forward on your screen. If you start to drift or something, they'll show your car sideways, and that is completely disorienting. So I play with hood view, as I think most professional racers, auto racers, you know, esports people use hood view. as long as they're not restricted, you know, unless that they're forced to use. In the event, if it's forced to be cockpit view. So I don't have the helmet on, but this is first-person perspective, but it's the most, the easiest one. It's the most stable. The road doesn't sway back and forth or side to side. You see just my motorcycle is going back and forth. And as I accelerate forward and back, you're not getting the screen zooming in and out. So it's the most stable view, which to me is easier. But yeah, so I've watched so many videos. I watched so many videos and talked to so many people giving me tips on how to get better at everything. Well, everything in life, not just video games, but everything. I never can get better at anything. I rise to mediocrity pretty quickly in things. I probably rise a lot slower now than I once did because of my age. But I plateau very quickly too. You know, I didn't, a couple of the people that, one thing about not streaming a game in a month is you lose some of your regular viewer, or I do anyway, maybe not you, but so the people that last time I streamed this game, you know, I had a couple of people chatting, or one person chatting, I've got nobody in chat now. I keep looking down, but they've forgotten about me. So sad. This isn't the only game I stream. As you watch my stream, you're looking over my Twitch channel, or looking over my YouTube channel, you know that mostly I stream Civilization. Well, on the weekdays I stream and post to YouTube Civilization 6, and on the weekends I post and stream racing. Tomorrow I will be streaming Dirt Rally 2, and I will not be getting a new game anytime soon, so I'll be playing that. But it's starting the last month of the official Dirt Club official Dirt Club. It's called Official Dirt, is the name of the club. Anyway, it's a monthly club, and this is the last month. And I doubt with the new game out if they're going to put in a new club for that game. I'm hoping that they support any club for that game, but it doesn't matter because all the people whose clubs I was playing in that game, they've all forgotten about. None of them have renewed clubs for that game because they're all setting up clubs in the new game. So it's likely that I'm only going to have one or two more Dirt Rally streams until I get that December club finished. So we'll see what I do. So I have one more day of streaming opening up. I don't have any more days of YouTube content open up though, unless I want to start producing two videos a day more often. Right now I have 2 videos on Saturday. One of them the shorter video on the Dirt Rally Club. One section of that. So it's about a 20 to 30 minute video versus the hour or so videos. Other videos that I produce at 6, that I release at 6 p.m. You know. So my streaming schedule is going to change probably within the next few weeks. Find something else to stream on Sundays, or you know, I have the last WRC game that's not EA, WRC Legends, I think it's called. Legends, Generations. I get confused with the Grid Legends, which I don't own yet. I was always planning on getting one of these days. Do I even have that on my watch list? I don't think I even have that. I'm not sure if I even have that on my sales watch list. Anyway, so I picked up the last WRC game. Is it published by Nacom? Some people published this. Is it developed by Kiloton? Maybe it was developed by Kiloton, who used to be the developers of this. Now they have a different developer. Another thing on my list is Kiloton motorcycle game rims, which is very expensive. I haven't seen it on sale yet. Yeah, I think now I have Ride. Who does Ride? Oh, Milestone does Ride. I changed my overlays around, and so the stream overlay that tells me I'm still streaming is slightly covering up the numbers in the upper right corner, but I can't see the numbers anyway. And it's on a transparent background, so I can see through the thing, but there's a big red dot telling me that I'm live, which is right on top of some of those numbers. But that's okay, because I know them in last place. I don't have to see the 10 out of 10 there. Getting close here, hopefully. After this race. Ah! Ouch. I still don't think my body's coming up. My Twitch chat timing bot. I have to go log in on Stream Elements. Sometimes needs to be kicked. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. If I touch the cord at all, it starts clicking, and then it never stops until I unplug it. Which of course makes you think, oh, it must be something wrong with your headset or whatever, but it's not. I switched the headset around. It's only in this game, I swear. But, yeah, so I got that last WRC game. I might stream that. Which would make good content good YouTube content if I do a playthrough of that. But, I don't have room on my schedule right now for YouTube, unless I could have it at noon Saturdays and Sundays, and then at 6 Saturdays and Sundays would be this game. YouTube.com/@RollCageTV. Help me get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Start up a Discord channel. I'm slowly gaining subscribers on YouTube, but it's like, oh, it goes up to, you know, it takes like a month for it to go up 2 subscribers, then I lose one of them, and then it takes another month to go up 2 again. So I'm slowly gaining, but please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. I'm not supposed to say that. Now we're into the video, though. I'm supposed to start off the next video. I'll start off by saying, welcome back. Please subscribe. Oh no! Oh, I looked down. Oh, stop looking down. Anyway, powering through this season. Just starting this season. Season 2, where I'm playing with 2 assist level 2 on everything. Oh, I didn't check my electronics. Yeah, they're all up to 3. Upgrades level 2. Then, so I'm going to do 5 seasons of the Supersport. increasing the upgrade level every time. The goal is to see if I can actually qualify for the final race once. And after that, after 5 seasons of Supersport, 5 seasons of Super Bike, and then this series may end then. I don't know, or may keep it going. I'm not sure. It's going to take a while. But yeah, that's it. Where did I finish? Oh, last. What? I usually try to get within. Oh man, that's so horrible. My goal had been that I get closer to the guy in front of me than the guy got to first place, right? So the gap for 9th place is 39 seconds. So I want to get within 39 seconds of the guy in front of me. I think I failed, having more than 4 minutes behind the guy in front of me. Oh. Hit the continue button. But I got my 8 reward points. There is that. Anyway, I am going to take a break here for watching on Twitch. I will throw up the BRB screen, take a 2-3 minute break, and be right back. If you're watching on YouTube, though, that's going to be it for this video. The next video will be out the next weekend day after this one. I think this is on a Saturday, so it'll be Sunday. Next day at 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time. All my racing videos come out on the weekend on YouTube, youtube.com/@RollCageTV. Please subscribe. And during the week, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time is when I release my Civilization 6 episodes. Streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/RollCageTV. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Saturdays, Sundays, 12:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So, if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. I'll be back. If you're watching on YouTube, stop by for the next episode. Either way, I will see you then.